Using a thesis to pattern your writing. An organizing pattern for your essay may be built into your assignment. For example, you may be asked to develop an argument or to write a process paper. When a pattern is not apparent, one may still evolve naturally during the research and information collecting steps. If this doesn't happen, take a careful look at your thesis statement. Let your thesis guide you. Your thesis statement should be the roadmap to your paper. An effective thesis will often suggest an organizing pattern. Notice how the thesis statements below shape the writing to follow. So your thesis statement is a summary of your body paragraphs in one sentence. Your thesis statement is located as the last sentence of the first paragraph and the first sentence of the last paragraph. So your thesis statement is the main focus of your paper. There are many different kinds of thesis statements. You can have a thesis statement for a personal narrative. So writers of personal narratives do not always state a thesis directly, but they will have in mind an implied theme or main idea that governs the way they develop their writing. The thesis below focuses the reader's attention on a less than perfect day in the life of a perfect flight attendant. So from the first day Northwest hired me in Minneapolis in 1969, I tried to be a model flight attendant. To develop the qualities my operations manual demanded: poise, good judgment, initiative, adaptability, and a spotless appearance. But one time I slipped up. I fell asleep. So this is the thesis statement of a personal narrative that will teach some kind of life lesson. You have to read the essay to find that out. Then you've got a thesis statement for a cause and effect essay. A cause and effect essay usually begins with one or more causes, followed by an explanation of the effects, or with a primary effect followed by an explanation of the causes. In the thesis below, the writer credits team sports with helping to advance women into leadership roles in major corporations. While most of America's corporations are still commanded by male chief executives, women are gaining ground, winning vice presidential and top management slots, and in a few cases, the highest leadership roles. Many of these young female executives say playing team sports helped them get ahead. And so if you want to read the essay, it's on that page. So this is a thesis statement, or the main idea sentence, of a cause and effect essay. And so since the thesis statement is a roadmap to your essay, so then you can rest assured that the rest of this essay, body paragraphs, will be about this topic. Thesis for an essay of comparison. Some comparisons treat one subject before the other, subject by subject. Others discuss the subject point by point, and some treat similarities and then differences. The writer of the thesis below introduces her comparison and contrast of two different views of Islamic dress, both of which she holds. To wear hijab, Islamic covering, is to invite contradiction. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I value it. So here you have a thesis statement for a comparison-contrast essay. Thesis for an essay on classification. An essay of classification identifies the main parts or categories of a topic and then examines each one. In the thesis below, the writer identifies 4 ways to discuss literature, and he examines each one in turn. There are 4 main perspectives or approaches that readers can use to converse about literature. Thesis for a process essay. Process essays are organized chronologically. As indicated in the thesis below, the writer of this essay will explain how cancer cells multiply and affect the body. When a cell begins to function abnormally, it can initiate a process that results in cancer. Thesis for a position paper. A position paper is another way of saying persuasive essay or argumentative essay. A position paper or persuasive essay or an argumentative essay, first introduces a topic and then states a position. The thesis below defined the writer's position on fatherlessness. Fatherlessness is the most harmful demographic trend of this generation, yet despite its scale and social consequences, fatherlessness is a problem that is frequently ignored or denied. Thesis statement for an definition essay, or an essay of definition. An essay of definition explores the denotation, connotation, and history of a term. In the following thesis statement, the writer names two words he will explore, deft and daft, and provides an overview of the definition essay. Let me see if I can explain the original meaning and also how daft and deft came to part company. Thesis for an essay proposing a solution. A problem solution essay, which is another name for an illustrative essay or an example essay, begins with a discussion of the problem and its causes and then examines possible solutions. In the following thesis statement, the writer points to a problem in the supposedly gender-equal society of the United States. After explaining the problem, she offers and argues for a specific solution. While women are represented today in virtually all fields, including the armed forces, only men are required to register for the military draft that would be used in the event of a national security crisis. So those are the different kinds of thesis statements that you can use in your paper. And you can use many different kinds of theses in order to pattern your writing. And so if you have any questions about thesis statements, you could feel free to email me at any time. And if you like this channel, the Professor H Writing channel, don't forget to subscribe to the Professor H Writing channel.